The startups by nature can offer unique opportunities that larger and more established corporations just typically can't. And today I want to talk about one of those opportunities. Today I want to talk about equity compensation and its value in relation to startups looking to win the war for talent, which does become ever more important as your company looks to scale and grow. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right into it. So for this first slide, we're talking about how it can be used to attract, retain, and motivate talent. Because in the competitive landscape that startups live within, talent acquisition and retention is key, and it becomes a daunting task for startups to find ways to stand out. And that's where equity compensation really does become a strategic asset. Because for larger corporations, yes, they may be able to offer higher compensation packages. But by offering a share in the company's future success, startups can start attracting top tier talent who are looking for more than just a paycheck. They're looking for a cause to believe in, a vision to not only contribute to, but financially benefit from. And this is why equity compensation is not just a tool for recruitment. It is a commitment. It shows that you value their contributions to their potential to drive growth for the company. And this sense of partnership motivates employees to go above and beyond because it aligns their success with that of the company's achievements. It creates this symbiotic relationship where each milestone that gets reached, it's a victory for both the employee and the company. And the reason why I really want to harp on that, and I'm actually going to be going into even further depth on this next slide where we talk about ownership culture, is because oftentimes in the workforce, I think we've all heard about it. There are people that feel like they're just cogs in a machine, that they're not really valued, that they're just a number. But by offering equity compensation, by giving them a piece of the pie, it helps foster an ownership culture, which can be such a powerful catalyst for companies looking to drive success. Because someone who has come from a startup background themselves, when you join an early stage startup, you're usually not getting paid as much. The hours are very long. The work is very tough. You wear multiple hats. But when you know you're in it together, that as the company scales and grows, you get to scale and grow with it. It makes you know that you're an owner within the company, that you own a part of the company's success, that you are part of the company's mission to succeed and that you get to contribute to that. And when employees start to feel like owners, that mindset really shifts to becoming that way because now they feel like they're proactive stakeholders in the company's journey because they are. And equity compensation is key to fostering this culture because without it, where is that promise that they get to enjoy the benefit of the company's future growth? It really does blur the line between us and them and brings everybody together and creates a unified community of everyone working towards a common goal. And this sense of ownership, it strengthens the alignment of the company's missions and values. It encourages employees to contribute their best efforts, to innovate, to find ways to help the company achieve its success. Because a motivated workforce that is deeply invested in the company's success through equity compensation is going to be much more valuable than one just looking to collect a paycheck. And an ownership culture is just so key for startups. You have to have a team that believes in the mission and that is in it for the long haul. And equity compensation is such a key driver to developing that. Now, all that I've just discussed all sounds great and dandy, but there is one key element that without, this all becomes a moot point. And it's about educating employees on the value of their equity compensation because value really is an agreement between two parties. People have to agree upon the value that's being received and given. And an analogy I always love to make is imagine if you gave somebody a gold brick, but they had no idea what gold was. What did you really give them in their mind? Well, it was a fancy paperweight. And that's exactly how equity compensation is treated. When you give up a piece of your company, you are giving something valuable, but you need to make sure that your employees understand the value being given to them by making sure that they understand how they can utilize equity, as well as the potential dangers that it can bring. I'm sure many of us in the startup space have heard about AMT tax horror stories. By making sure that your employees understand the pros and cons of equity, it helps build this trust and knowledge base because nobody likes to be blindsided. By making sure that they understand exactly how they can benefit from the equity and things they need to be aware of, it creates a sense of trust. Because without it, people are going to be receiving equity, and if they're new to the space, they're probably not going to be thinking about it in the way that they should be. And that's why communication is also such a key factor of this. You need to be communicating to employees about their equity, about the company's goals, about their successes, about their wins, so they can understand exactly how they are truly, not only how they are driving success for the company, but how they're able to benefit from it. And having a solid foundation for educating employees about their equity is just so important, something that can never be overlooked because knowledge is power. And without that knowledge, And the power of that equity compensation really isn't what it should be. So this is something I always implore companies to do. Invest in educating your employees on their equity compensation, which will only strengthen their buy-in to help the company scale and grow as it works towards its goals. So there you go. That was our quick little presentation for today, talking about the value of equity compensation and how it relates to startups. So for those of you that did watch till the end, we are now offering a plethora of resources on the NSPP website, which are going to be related back to private companies specifically. And we're also launching our newsletter, The Cap, where you can be staying up to date on new happenings within the startup space in the realm of equity compensation and administration. Again, thank you for all of those that stay tuned and listen to the entirety of this video. And if you enjoyed it, please like and give it a reshare. We very much appreciate that. So again, thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you in the next one.